Wholesaling real estate. I want you to forget everything that you've seen ever online and just watch this video. We are doing 50 deals a month and I want to show you exactly how we do it. For the past 2 years, we sold over 1,000 properties and I also bought few properties myself that I currently own right now. I want to tell you guys that the best business model that you can have is wholesaling real estate. Additionally, guys, maybe you've seen already, we've built community where people can come and learn, plus work with us on all the deals where they can make profit within their first month of joining our community. Because the tools that we provide in this community are personally used by me. The second you join community, you're getting access to everything and you can wholesale the property. Wholesaling is best business model because you can earn up to $100,000 a month if you successfully fully understand it. What that means is that you know how to find a buyer and how to find a seller, but also your goal is to be able very quickly to analyze what is a good deal, what is a bad deal, what is a good buyer, what is a not good buyer. Like, I want you to watch this video and immediately start taking action after watching this full video. And why this is important? People who are taking action and learning through the process are only ones who are gonna be successful in this business. Because if you're gonna overthink, you're gonna overstudy, you will never take action, okay? Real estate is one of the best businesses that you can start. Big companies, plus government himself, plus also banks and all billionaires are doing real estate. Plus, wholesaling real estate allowing you to make money fast in real estate. You can make income within 15 days, right? Like, you can find a foreclosure property and you can wholesale it. Within 2-3 days, you're gonna be able to make money. What is real estate? Real estate is where you live, where you go to school, where you study, where you work out, anything, whatever you do, you're always gonna end up in real estate. So this is number one thing in the world, from where people live from until they go to work, where they put a gas in their car. This is all part of real estate. It just, there's different commercial real estate, residential real estate that you can wholesale for a profit, right? Because you're the one who is finding that deal. Real estate is very big factor for the economy. Without real estate, you cannot do anything, right? Like, people need to be somewhere, people need to work from somewhere. Everything always goes through real estate. Yeah, of course, market can change at any moment if they increase taxes or insurance go up, right, in the property specific, or hurricane happens, but it's never gonna fall significantly down, for example, as crypto. So let me tell you now why wholesaling real estate is the easiest way to access real estate, and also why is this so important. Wholesaling specify as like, you know the guy who knows the guy, because you combine them all together on one table to sit to sell their property or buy their property, you're making profit for that. You are basically a middleman who is supervising the transaction till the end. It's one of the easiest because you don't need to spend money. You don't need to get any license for wholesaling real estate because you're simply selling a contract, not the property, right? That you agree with the seller to sell. Also, it doesn't require any funds. Like, you don't need to spend money. Sometimes if you're gonna go big, right, you're gonna hire a lot of people work for you, then yeah, you'll have expenses such as paying for your virtual assistants or paying for your business expenses, paying for marketing, paying for leads. But with our community, you will not need to do that. Me personally, some of the things I never use in my life because I feel like they're not necessary. Because in the end of the day, your goal is spend less than you make. So our community helping basically beginners to enter real estate market and from day one start doing real estate deals. And the very important part to understand, in order to find a deal, you need to send an offer to somebody. Because without putting an offer to a property or to the property owner, there is no deal. Your goal is to give an offer to someone, and if he likes it, he's gonna accept it. If not, we're gonna go to the next one. But if you're gonna just talk over the phone, chat, and go to another one, nothing is gonna happen. Because guess what? You didn't make an offer, but somebody else made an offer and the seller liked it. Your technique and goal of everything in this whole universe is for you to put an offer on the property. Now let's talk about you. How you personally can do it, what skills you as a person need to have, right? The number one thing, which is very important, is yourself to want to do it, right? Like, without this, you will never gonna be able to succeed. Me personally, from the morning that I wake up, to the end of the day that I go to sleep, I love what I'm doing. I like to send offers. I like to talk to people who are selling the property. I like to talk to people who want to buy the property. I do this thing with passion. It's very difficult nowadays because a lot of people going for work and they don't want to work. They want to find something else. So your goal is to fall in love with the business. Don't think about the money. Money gonna come. You will be able to succeed because you're spending more time than other people who are going to work at someone's office, right? It's very important to have a thick skin, okay? It's a game of number business. Out of 50 people, only one is gonna say to you yes. And you need to be very confident. You need to don't lose your motivation. So you need to be always ready to hear a lot of no's for just one yes. Like me personally, I provide something that I wanna get from the seller, or I provide the property that I wanna sell to the buyer, and I'm just waiting. If he says yes, perfect. Here you go, sign a contract. If they don't want to, that's okay. I'll come back, I will follow up with them. But you never need to give up. People need to trust you, okay? Your goal in wholesaling real estate is to represent yourself as somebody who is here to help, okay? Because if you are there helping the seller, give him maybe a little bit more upfront, right? Or like solve his problem. People need to trust you when you talk to them over the phone. Like you need to explain what you want. You need to explain why this is the price that you wanna buy the property for. And you need to be patient until they sign a contract, and you need to navigate them how everything works. Me personally, every day I'm gathering new information, I'm applying it, so you need to grow while you're doing this business, okay? Every seller is a new lesson for you. The same with buyers. Like every buyer is a new lesson. After you successfully close a deal, you'll analyze like, okay, this seller maybe was not really a good person inside, but I learned a lot from him. So every transaction is going to be a new lesson for you on how to do the next one. And based on that, you are personally growing inside, like a new class. First class is this video, second class is using these tools, and third is you using all this and learning through the process. We personally with you gonna work on two type of transactions. Creative transactions is where you take over payments on someone else's loan, or you're structuring a seller financing transaction where as soon as you're signing a contract, that means that financing is in place, okay? This is what creative financing is. You basically agreeing with the seller to buy his house by keeping the loan under his name or paying him monthly, and as soon as this contract paper napkin is signed, that means that here's my down payment, here's my financing, I already secured the deal. This is what is a creative financing is. Cash deals, it's where you look at the property and you say, Jesus Christ, somebody gotta flip this thing, it's just disgusting. This is what cash deal is, right? Or sometimes it may be not a lot of renovation required, right? Like maybe you need to paint walls, change the kitchen, put new carpet, maybe make pool outside, put some palms, and list it for sale for a higher price, okay? This is a cash deal where you basically are buying the house for cash, right? But all the investors, 99% are gonna use hard money lender to buy this property, right? Because their goal is also to don't spend money and only make profit. Okay, now let's drive to the most important thing. What is a good deal and what is a bad deal? Good deal in creative financing is when you have a cash flow, okay? All the buyers, when they're gonna look at your deal, they're gonna look at location, at the price, at down payment, what value this deal gives them. So very, very important is cash flow on the creative financing deals, because their financing is gonna be a seller, right? They're gonna give a down payment which pays you, seller, agent, maybe someone else, right? And as soon as they purchase it, they wanna rent it out to make income. So cash flow is the key in creative financing. In another hand, of course, it's a cash deals. This investor goal is gonna be to buy this asset at the right price where he can flip or do renovation, build a house on it, right? When project is done completely, he will list it for sale, and after all the commissions, he must make money. You're flipping the contract, he is flipping the house. Your goal is not cash flow, your goal is him to make also money exactly how you made by wholesaling it, okay? Buyer wanna buy, seller wanna sell. Every seller must have a reason to sell the property. By understanding the reason why seller wants to sell the property, A, you will be able to get the house on a contract with a discount. 2, you will be able to understand if he's actually serious or not. 3, based on seller's motivation, you'll be able to sign a contract, of course, right? If they want to sell it, they're gonna sign a contract with you, right? Why buyer wants to buy? You need to talk to your buyer, like what do you want? today, right? He's gonna say, I'm looking to buy something that is gonna generate me monthly income. Perfect. This is the type of buyer who's gonna buy a cash flow deal from you on a creative financing terms, because he wants to spend a little bit of money, he wants to buy, put a tenant in it, and make monthly income. If the buyer says, hey, I love Tampa area, I'm looking to buy more flips, I like doing construction, so I'm looking for something where I can make a lot of money. Amazing. You're gonna ask this buyer for proof of funds, you're gonna ask if he have already done anything in the past, right? He's gonna show it to you, or maybe he's new, and based on that, you will understand how serious he is and if he is seriously looking to buy. After, you will be basically looking to support him, and you will be looking for a deal for him to purchase. It can be your deal or it can be someone else's deal. Buyer is number one person in the transaction because he is the one who is paying for everyone. If you have a buyer who is ready to buy property that he wants to flip or hold, you can immediately start looking for a deal for him, because if he's ready to go, everybody else is going to be also ready to go. So now that you understand what is wholesaling real estate, I want to talk to you a little bit about multifamily, right? Or like commercial real estate. Me personally, I've done 3 transactions, I don't want to lie. Out of all the 1,000 deals that I've sold, I've done 3 or 4 commercial wholesaling real estate deals. It's a little bit harder. It's the same strategy. You also must make an offer, but you have to be either creative or you have to get these properties under the contract for a very low price, so investor can make money through renovating them and putting a tenant in there. Because in residential real estate, market value matters a lot. But on another hand, where we have a commercial real estate, market value doesn't matter that much. What matters is raising the rents on these properties. Because if you find a deal that have vacancies, right, or like needs some maybe renovations, or you can add extra rooms, it's not fully occupied, that's how you going to structure the deal. So my recommendations for you: learn residential real estate, how to wholesale it, because it's easier. As soon as you completed 5-6 transactions, we're gonna drop a new video where we're gonna go over how we do a commercial real estate, so you can also learn that. So what is purchase agreement? Purchase agreement is the document that you are signing with seller, where he understands all the terms that you guys agree with, and you're basically putting all this on piece of paper that is gonna be a legal document that you're using to open escrow. Okay, we created an app that's called Napkin Sign, where we have all the documents that you can use in order to do transactions, right? Including the purchase agreement, of course. Without purchase agreement, there is no deal. Assignment of contract. This is the paper that makes you money, okay? Because you already have a purchase agreement, now it's time to sign assignment of contract, right? Here, you basically agreeing with the buyer that he is buying everything that you signed before with the seller, just by adding a fee on top. I just want to show you what is the purchase agreement looks like. Seller basically agree for $3,700 to sell his house with a $0 down payment to him. Basically, seller was getting 0 here. And we basically wholesale this creative deal to the end buyer. So in a creative financing, when you wholesale the house, the 2 things where you're going to use for assignment of contract is the difference that you're gonna put on an assignment of contract for a creative financing deal. Here is the example. You're gonna put a new assignee purchase price, which is gonna be $332,000. The buyer is overpaying $20,000 on a down payment. So you need to change a new price for it together with a down payment. To the seller, it was $0 down payment. Here, buyer is paying $20,000 down payment. Because seller got 0, your assignment fee is gonna be $20,000. As a conclusion, in creative financing, when you sign a contract, you agree with seller for down payment and either take over payments on the loan or seller financing, and you're executing a contract, and then you're assigning it to a buyer for a down payment that is going to increase on assignment of contract, and purchase price that is also going to increase. Now on a cash deal, it's going to be a little bit more easier because you basically agree with him for this price. In here, as an example, you can see seller agree on the property 5000 SW 22nd Street, West Park, for $275,000 sales price with all the other terms. So basically he's selling the house for $275,000, and you found a buyer which purchased this from you for $293,000. Whenever we found this buyer, we agree with him to sell it to him for $293,000. So on assignment of contract, you're simply gonna put $293,000. So if you do the math, basically on this property, we made $18,000. Now, it's very important to understand what is the deposit in real estate transaction. Deposit is basically what you agree with the seller to put down to secure the deal. The same thing goes for a buyer. On assignment of contract, you're gonna ask him to submit deposit, so you're confident that he is a real buyer and he actually have money to put non-refundable deposit. What we personally do with our deals, we try to agree with seller like, hey, we're gonna do $1,000 deposit to you. From buyer, we ask for $5,000 deposit, sometimes 10. Why are we doing that? Number one thing is that you want to charge your buyer as much as possible earnest money deposit so he cannot back out. With seller, you must agree to as low as possible amount for the deposit. Sometimes you can even put $10 or even zero if he's cool with that. In most of the cases, they're cool with that because you don't want to spend money. This is the money that you're sending to title company, and now you have to wait until the deal closes so you can get this deposit back, plus also to make a fee. You can be creative how our company is and how our documents we've included is that you have a 14-day inspection period. During this inspection period, you don't have to submit a deposit. And within this 14 days inspection period, you basically already finding a buyer and he is putting the deposit for you on a deal. That means that you don't have to put any deposit because you found a buyer who put $10,000 now for the deposit that goes, if anything happens, to the seller at closing. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important document in wholesaling real estate is joint venture agreement. In another word, it's also called JV. This is what you sign with your business partners. This is what you're gonna sign with us if you're gonna do deal with us. This is what you're gonna sign with your friend if you're wholesaling the house together. This is the documents that allows you to make money in wholesaling real estate with other people involved in it. Please keep in mind, 99% you're gonna be wholesaling the property with someone else, because guess what? You found a seller, but you cannot find a buyer. But your friend or another person have a buyer already in place. So you're gonna be signing a contract with him as well, because you wanna make your 5,000, he wants to make his 5,000, and you're signing a contract for that. Here is a good example of one property that we wholesale with our team for $120,000, and there is 5 different entities involved. Why real estate is so cool is that me personally, I don't know what is this deal. Raul, my business partner, he worked on it and he found a wholesaler who knows another wholesaler who have another buyer. And now, because we all know each other and we all worked on this deal, we all make profit together. So please keep in mind, this business is not for selfish people. This business is to make money all together and help buyer and seller and other people to make money with you. Let's go quickly now so you can understand who is always involved in the transaction when you're wholesaling the property. A, seller. Seller may have family, brother, sister, wife. Always keep in mind, if you talk with seller, you must to check, is he the only owner? Because if he's not the only owner, his wife or his or her husband, or if they're gay or whatever, they all must sign the contract. Like, your goal is to understand that, yeah, he doesn't own the property on his own, they all have to sign a contract. This is the beginning of the transaction. There is also real estate agents involved in the transaction if you're doing a properties on market, okay? What is very cool is that there is a properties that are listed for sale on Zillow, there is already motivation. So these people are interested in selling you the house, but they hire a real estate agent to help them with that. So you are talking to real estate agent who is in contact with the sellers, okay? And now it's you, the acquisition manager. When you're finding a deal, your name is acquisition. Like, it's called acquisition in real estate because you're acquiring a property. Now, as soon as this contract is signed, another people getting involved in a deal. This contract that you sign, you're gonna send it to title company to open escrow. Title company is basically gonna help you out to close this property. You cannot go and close the property on your own. Like, some people does that, but like, it's very with a hand method way, old school. No one use it anymore because everyone want to go through title company, because you don't want to send your money directly to seller, you want to send it to mutual party, which is title company, and as soon as everything is clear to close, they're going to distribute the funds to you, seller, agent, and to a transaction coordinator, whoever is involved in the deal. As soon as you sign a contract, you're sending it to title company, and there is escrow officer, plus there is also attorneys and another people involved who are working in their office. It's another business that helping your business in this industry. Then you start simply looking for buyer when you open escrow. You can find a buyer through us, our company, or other people in this field who are working, and you're gonna find a JV partner. So this person have an buyer involved who is buying this property. Now, as soon as this buyer sends deposit to title company, you gonna hire, or the buyer gonna hire a transaction coordinator who's gonna be helping with the paperwork, so you can step away and do your thing. Your thing again is finding deals or finding a buyers. You wanna delegate every other part in the transaction because you are gonna waste your time if you're gonna deal with other stuff. In a creative transaction, there is not gonna be a lender involved, because lender is someone who is lending money to a buyer to buy the property. Now, in cash deals, there may be a hard money lender involved or a DCR loan involved. This is basically buyer working on his end, securing a financing for the property because he is buying it. He doesn't want to spend his own cash, so he's going to use a hard money lender to fund this deal for him very quick. Now, let me take you and show you how exactly from A to Z you are doing a deal in creative financing. So here is the property located in Virginia. This property was listed on market, meaning that seller was already selling it with an agent, okay? So what we did, we sent them an offer that they saw and they start talking to us, okay? So our conversation with them started with sending them an offer. It was pretty expensive property. It was $530,000 deal. So here you can see that our team sent them an offer, okay, for their property. We basically told them, here is the price that we're willing to pay. Here is the down payment that we're giving you. Here is how much seller is gonna get, okay? They sent us the copy of the mortgage statement and they told us, hey, our seller is looking to get more upfront. We review immediately the deal. We saw all the numbers on it, if the property is making cash flow, and after making the decision on this deal, we resend them the contract for signature. After reviewing everything and understanding that seller's pain is to move out of the property, he wants to get more funds at closing and he is okay giving a little bit of discount and removing seller's carryback. He requested $68,000 down payment. But if you take a look at our original offer, we offered $16,000 to seller and $16,000 to the agent. That means that we overpaid them $30,000 down payment at closing because the property was a good deal. And of course we signed a contract and then we start marketing this property, okay? For this specific property, we already had a buyer in place because we have a nationwide database for all the buyers where we skip trace them. We spoke over this few years with a lot of people and we know who is buying what property. As soon as we found a buyer, the buyer was found by Nicholas, my personal business partner. He lives here in Miami. We do a lot of deals with him together and he was able to secure a buyer for this transaction who signed assignment of contract. He basically signed assignment of contract for $75,000 down payment. That left us on a $7,000 assignment fee, okay? This was not bad assignment fee, only $7,000, but it's okay. It was a simple and quick deal where we made $7,000. This buyer sent deposit to title company. They went through closing process. They approved him, they sent all the paperwork, they discussed everything, and title company created a settlement statement where we can see our fee now, where we're making $7,000. Seller is getting whatever we agreed to. Listing agent is also getting paid for this deal because he was helping seller to sell this property. Title company also charging their fees, and there's a transaction coordinator who helped on this deal to bring it to the finish line, okay? In the creative deals, your goal is to send a lot of offers for properties that are listed on market. Favorite tool, Offer Blaster. So you simply get a data from PropWire. It's basically a free place where you can download up to 10,000 lists. You simply put them on a spreadsheet and you're using Offer Blaster we created to send a lot of offers to the sellers, okay? So you can get this house under the contract. How we got exactly this one and brought it to the finish line. It's very important to treat everyone amazing in the transactions. The biggest problem in real estate, it's a lot of people always gonna be not on the same page with you. Your goal is to just stay consistent, know what you are doing, okay? And bringing it to the finish line. You're gonna go always through some arguments with other people. They're gonna believe this is the way, you think this is the way. And your goal is just simply just to listen to them, but follow your way of doing the business, okay? Never argue, never scream at anyone, never get mad or upset. There's a lot of different people. Some title companies may not understand how you have your things on the place. Like they don't know, like this is the numbers, this how much is assignment fee. They may make a mistake. You cannot get mad, you cannot scream at them. You simply need to advise them. Okay, so here's the purchase agreement, here's the assignment of contract, this is how much we sold it for, this is how much my assignment fee is gonna be, by looking at the documents, explaining to them. Your goal is to navigate everyone. If there is a transaction coordinator who forgot to do something, you simply need to follow up with them and tell them like, hey, we need to send addendum to the seller for signature. You are the one who is the leader. You need to lead a transaction to the finish line. You need to supervise, you need to help, you need to put effort, okay? Because when you're gonna start dealing with volume is like 10-15 deals a month. You need to know what the fuck you are doing. And now you're not alone, you're also with other people. So the way you talk with other people, it's very important, okay? Because you're gonna build trust, you're gonna build credibility, and these people are gonna be always happy to work with you on every deal. You're getting the deal on a contract, you're getting the buyer under contract, you ask him for a deposit, no matter what, no any exceptions. This is how we do business, okay? If you're gonna start doing something else, you're gonna give more time to find, to think about the deal, then it's not business. You need to be very straight to the point, and people gonna love you for that. When you're straight to the point, that's when magic happens, and everybody just follows your orders and they go one by one and flow into your system. Okay? Let's say you're completely new to the business and you now want to start the wholesaling business, okay? What do you need to start wholesaling business? Not a lot of things, very simple. You need to open LLC if you don't want to flip the contract on your personal name, just to protect yourself. You simply can just Google online, open LLC, and you're gonna find one of the websites. You're gonna pay $500 and you're gonna open LLC. If you're in America, perfect, use your social security number, you're gonna open LLC. I would recommend doing it in Wyoming, Nevada, or other states where your name doesn't pump up on LLC. If you don't want to open yet, just use personal name for now, or you can use our help. If you're in the Hustle House community, we're gonna put in our LLC the contract so we can sign. We're gonna pay you either through Zelle, or we're gonna put you on a GV agreement as a personal name. But I would recommend opening LLC, because if you're taking this business serious, you need to have LLC. Open a Gmail account, business account, and domain, of course, because without domain you cannot have a Gmail. So please go ahead, watch online videos how to open domain and Gmail business account, because you will need that in order to start doing business and generating leads. You need to open a SendGrid account. This is basically API keys that you connect in order to send a lot of offers. Offer Blaster that we create in our community works the way that you can send up to 200 offers a day if you're using just an account without the API key, which is SendGrid. But after that, everything is going to go to the spam. So if you want to start dealing with volume, meaning that you're going to send like 500,000, 2,000 offers a day to get a lot of deals in a contract, you must open an account on SendGrid and connect to Offer Blaster that we created, and all the instructions are going to be on Hustle House community. Where do you get a data to send offers to? I personally use ProWire because it's free. There's no cost. You can download up to 10,000 lists a day, and you can send them offers, or if you want, you can pay if you're doing off market to skip trace them. It's the cheapest software and it's more reliable for me, so I use ProWire. You can also use PropStream, amazing also app. You're gonna spend $100 a month. I don't use it. You can use it if you want to. Everybody have their own thing. We also have created in our community Click and Offer app. This is basically exactly same thing that is all this website, with the only gap that you cannot download the lists, but you can send offer to individual property. Very amazing app, because sometimes you may be on a phone call and you want to see all the information about the property. Boom, you pump up their address, you're looking at the property and all the numbers, any loans on it, any comparable properties, and you chatting with the seller or with the agent about this property. If you are not yet ready to negotiate, if you don't have a sales skills, we have AI assistant in there in place who you can get an advice from. You can simply ask like, hey, what do I need to talk about with the seller if I want to buy this house? And you're gonna ask this question from the AI bot that we created, and he's gonna provide you with everything that you need to talk in order to sign this contract. This is ChatGPT, but for wholesaling reels that we created. We feed it with a lot of data and all the information, so it knows what the heck is going on, because you can send after also offer by using it. Another amazing app that you will need, it's Napkin Sign App. There is all the documents that I discussed before already there. The only thing you need to do is simply fill out the boxes and receive it in your email. Then the contract, right? Either JV, purchase agreement, assignment, memorandum. Amazing app for all the documents. Additionally, it's very important to know what you're talking about, how to negotiate with the seller, what to talk with seller about on the transaction. So you need to have a sales script. Of course, you can go back and ask and click an offer, the AI bot, what to talk about, but we also providing you scripts. Here you can check them out. It's in our community about how to talk with people who are in a foreclosure currently. This is people who are not making payments on their mortgage. They have a different type of approach. This, for example, is for how to talk with the listing agents, right? And other sales scripts. So you know how to talk with them because it's a different type of approach. Also, you need to take in consideration, if you're not in America, you need to open a Telo account. It's only $8 a month. You need to have an American phone number so you can give people a call and talk with them, because if you're going to be wholesaling from a different country and you're going to be calling with a different phone number, people may not take you serious. Okay, so spending $8 a month for American phone number, I don't think so it's an issue. So please get yourself a phone number. Twilio. Now, if you want to get a better results on sending offers for the properties, you may take in consideration using Twilio. They charge like, I think 0.87 cents per SMS. So we personally, how we use it, whenever we send an offer, we also send an SMS that we send an offer. You can use Twilio for that, or also if you're doing off market, it's very important to have a Twilio set up. Twilio is an app that you'll have to get if you're looking to automate and create a workflows based on SMS. What we have created is insane. We basically went ahead and said, hey Twilio, we don't want to pay you money anymore because you're fucking expensive. So our team created a bulk SMS Sender app where you can upload up to 1,000 lists a day and you can send them SMS directly from your iMessages without any cost. A very amazing app. I personally use it for foreclosure properties, like people that are behind on payments or off market. I download the list, I create a template text with the AI assistant in there too, and we're sending them SMSs to get a property under the contract. So you don't need to use Twilio if you don't have money. We got you. If you spend nothing and make money, this is the real business. If you start spending a lot of money for Twilio, like you're gonna start spending for marketing, you're gonna spend for this, you're gonna work on your own, you're never gonna be able to be successful. Your goal is to find people to work with you and to have a very cheap expenses. If you achieve this, you have an amazing business. Congratulations, welcome to the real world. Why getting a virtual assistant is very important, because you don't want to spend time on doing everything on your own. We personally have over 10 virtual assistants that are currently working for us. Like I have my virtual assistant who is cold calling the agents, getting for me mortgage statements. So you may need a virtual assistant. In the beginning, I would first always recommend do everything from A to Z on your own. You need to understand how everything works, and then you can hire people for each individual place where you need them to be. We actually have a whole business where they're already educated virtual assistants. Instead of you're gonna pay $7, you're gonna pay them $4 a month. And they already train on how to do real estate. Like basically they have real estate knowledge, plus also they know what to talk with the seller. You just need to provide them with what exactly you need to be done so they can execute their task, and you need to track their KPIs. Please make sure you get a virtual assistant when you actually need it. If you're gonna get her without knowing why you need her, it's a waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy. So now let's get to the most important thing in this business partners and people who are around you. So your goal is to find people to work with, okay, and them to be on the same page with you, and them to do, of course, not the same thing with you, but things that are supporting the transaction to the finish. Like you can start working with a business partner. Like me personally, I don't like to work alone. I like to work with different people because it's more fun, it's more cool. I find it more interesting because I can share my experience. I can put my shoulder on the things because I trust this guy is gonna do this today. It's everything for me, okay? Like I cannot work without people. I love working with people, especially real estate. It's all about working with other people. Very important is to get a business partner who is your age, or maybe like you know someone like and you trust him already. Like try to find someone who you cool with, you know, because me personally, I went through a lot in the beginning. I started doing the business with wrong people, and it led me to find a better people and surround myself with the different people. You gonna 100% find a business partner or someone who you want to work with if you join a community where you can find people who are doing the same thing with you. You're gonna meet them. Be active. Yeah, it's very important to be active and very important to be social in this business, okay? You need to go like every day you do leads, like you're talking with your leads, but also you're talking with another people who are doing this business, okay? Because you may find amazing people. Me, for example, I went to doctor appointment. I spoke with the doctor and she wants to sell me all her 10 houses right now just because I was social and explained like what I do. So very important is to be social in this business, talking with people, but don't be needy and greedy. Just like be straight to the point. Here I am, I'm a businessman, I do this and that, and everybody's gonna love talking to you. Don't overcall people, don't overcomplicate, don't try to learn things and then start working. I already said about it. Just do business and meet people through the process, okay? Please keep that in mind. A lot of people can call you for no reason, just like to hang with you. No, you strictly need to meet your business partners by working in the work field. How to negotiate and talk to people, how to don't be shy and for me it's in front of the camera, of course. For you maybe it's something else. Bro, just talk normal. Like when you're going to Starbucks, like what do? Like you're basically going and getting a coffee. You spoke with someone to get that coffee. The same thing here, like you just, instead of coffee, it's a house. So you simply just calling him, you want to get the house, okay? What do you want to get the house? You use the sales script that we provided to you. You check, okay, this is what I need in order to complete my order, okay? So you calling over the phone and you going through the paper that is there, the sales script that we created. Amazing thing how you can find a business partner is like you found a deal, you have a buyer, you met together, you wholesale the property. While you guys wholesaling the property together, you meet each other more because you're talking often, right? And like you understand that you're good business partners and you can start up and do business together. This happens by taking action only. You can find a business partner by taking action, because if you don't do anything, you're probably gonna find another person who doesn't do anything. So you're gonna be both unsuccessful business partners, okay? If you do a lot of deals and another guy is finding a lot of buyers and you meet finally, perfect, you're gonna be amazing business partners now, you know what I mean? Because you both are going crazy, you're both doing deals. So now it's time for you to meet each other and do deals together. Plus, because you're so smart and so cool, now you also will be able to hire people, right? Like you can say like, hey, you know what? Like I'm bored. I don't want to talk to the sellers anymore. I love this business. I love making money, but let's go get an acquisition manager who can help us out to do deals, okay? So you're gonna look and see like, oh, this guy is very active. He's doing deals. Let's talk to him. Maybe he's gonna work with us together. Boom, perfect. How much percent you want to get? 25% for finding a seller. Perfect, amazing. Let's start working together. You're gonna open on your Gmail that you have another account for him. You're gonna put him in the game and you're gonna start helping him getting more deals with your business partner. On another hand, you can find someone who's actively looking to find the buyers and you're gonna hire him. Perfect. Now we have a combination of acquisition manager and disposition manager, right? Plus, they of course will need some help because they also don't want to deal with the dirty work, and now they will be able to get a virtual assistant, right? One for acquisition, one for disposition. So now you have a team of 6 people. 6 people is perfect to make 100K a month. I want to touch base again on the delegation, right? Like, why is it very important? Because your goal is to spend as low as possible time on working, most of the time focus on building new things or increasing the business, okay? Like improving your business, in other words, adding more value to it so it can go up. So your main goal as a business owner to don't work. Wholesaling, it's also work, you're just getting paid a lot of money, right? Like if you're gonna be doing wholesaling every step on your own, you will not be able to break from 40 to 50K a month because you don't have enough of time. Like you cannot sign more than 15, 20 deals a month on your own because like you're just gonna blow up like all your energy, all your day, right? Don't be scared to delegate, okay? Get someone to get this deal, like share with him a profit, okay? Let him do his thing, he's gonna get money, you're gonna get the freedom. Freedom is number one thing. So if you can delegate the process and give it this part of the transaction to someone else and have a free time to find something else, another property, right? It's amazing because you free yourself from working and talking with people and now you're doing something else, right? So delegating is very important in this business, and giving each things to other people to take care of it is very nice, especially if they are already professionals in it. Such good example can be transaction coordinator. Why would you do a documents if there is a person or if there is a company that can help you out with that. Delegating is an amazing thing to do. We're talking now about not just $20,000-$30,000, we're talking about $100,000, right? It's very important for you to be a leader, okay? What it means to be a leader. You need to be motivated. You need to believe in things. You need to know like, hey, my acquisition manager is gonna be doing this today. Okay, I'm prepared for him. He is also prepared. Here you go. How many offers was sent? Perfect, amazing, congratulations. How are we doing on this side? We have 10 houses for sale. Was we able to sell them? What is going on? Perfect, amazing, update. Have you spoke with this guy? You as a business owner, you know everything, okay? You know how the transaction goes and everything. So your ideas that you generate in your brain, these people who work for you, they don't have them. So your goal is like to see how they are doing and pass them maybe some idea like, hey, have you spoke with this guy? We sold him another property. Maybe you want to check with him. Oh, I didn't even know, I didn't even thought about it. Let me give him a call, you know? So you always need to look at the things from the top. So you need to see how here are the things, how are we doing here? How is this deal? What is going on there? What is the problem? And you need to pass ideas to your team so they can successfully bring the transactions to the finish line or also get more transactions on a contract. Plus also you need to have a business partner who you can sit with and see like, where is the gaps that we're having currently? What we need to do? Perfect, let's work on this to automate it so it does better for us today, okay? Team, you cannot go anywhere without a team, bro. Our team provide you with full-time communication about wholesaling real estate. You're basically going to be immediately taking action on sending offers, talking with people, buyers, sellers, doing deals, okay? So my main goal is to put you exactly in that field, because when I started wholesaling real estate and like I was doing a lot of things for no reason, such as calling people who are not even interested in selling the house. And no one told me, okay? Nobody told me like, you should not do that, because I didn't know, like, I didn't study it from someone. I had to go through this hell on my own, okay? So this is why we created a hustle house with the tools in place where you can go and start immediately using them in order to making money. Because without the tools, you cannot find a deal. We created all these tools for you to use them. Michael, my business partner, who is every day doing live meetings with everyone in the team at 5 o'clock in our community, just listening what they have to say, checking if there is any deals coming in, helping them to use the tools their way, listening if they have any questions and everything. So it's very important to join and talk. Now that you watch this video, like think about it, like what's my goal now? How many deals, how much money I want to make, what I want to do, like where I see myself in 1 year from now. After this video, I want you to start taking action, okay? Because other people in our community already doing these deals, they make money, okay? We have this girl Anar, she found 5 houses within 2 weeks. She's actually 2 weeks in our membership. And she already sold 2 houses in Jacksonville. We're actually selling another in Texas. Another also girl. So I don't want to talk how many people did deals already, okay? So make sure you put all your goals that you have for this year in wholesaling real estate, since you already choose to watch that video. Now put the goals, like how many deals I want to sign this month, okay? How many people I want to meet, what I want to create, how big my team is have to be, okay? So if you put these goals, you will have always a place to look at, you know what I mean? Business cannot operate without a plan if you don't have it. I'll see you at the top, everyone.